Excuse me. Are you okay? Can you hear me? My apologies. I startled you. You probably weren't expecting to see anyone up here. Are you trying to find shelter from the snowstorm? Then I think the tree you're sitting under won't suffice, I'm afraid. Yes, I do know the settlements on the foot of this mountain. Quite well, in fact. But, I'm afraid you've gotten yourself quite a ways away from there. I don't think there's a way for you to make it back. Not through this blizzard. Look, I know it's normally not a good idea to trust a stranger. And especially not one clad in robes like me. But if you would trust me, I can grant you proper shelter. At least temporarily, until the snowstorm blows over. I understand that you would be wary of me, but do you have any other choice? Trust me, please. I don't want anything to happen to you. It's a small cabin. It's not far. No, you don't understand. You won't be able to get to it without my help. Because you won't be able to see through this blinding storm. All you have to do is take my hand, and I will lead you to it. Please, let me help you. Thank goodness. It's this way. So you're not from around here, are you? Visiting relatives. Do they know you have a habit of getting lost on mountaintops? Yes, mountaintop. Trees might still grow at this altitude, but don't let that fool you. We're quite high up. It was a good idea to try and hide amongst the trees amidst the snowstorm. But in this case, that would only have delayed the inevitable. I'm assuming you're an experienced hiker? Don't be silly. Getting lost up here does not make you any less experienced. There is a reason people are warned to not go too far up the mountain. It really messes with your sense of direction. Even the most seasoned hikers and navigators get lost. You are wondering how I'm able to know where I'm going, whilst you can hardly see. I have my ways. But, good news. Look, there's my cabin. You're wondering how you missed it. You must have not seen it through the thick snowfall and fog. Oh well, I live here, so it's no problem for me. There's a fire going on inside, so you can warm yourself up. I know it's not much, but it's home. It must seem very primitive to you. Just sit down in front of the fire and I'll boil some water for tea. We need to warm you up ASAP. I'll just hang this kettle of water above the fire and it should be done very soon. Oh, there's no need to thank me. I'm glad I can help. You're suddenly reminded of the stories? What stories? Oh, those. Animal spirits leading those who are lost on a mountain to safety? Do you believe those tales? No offense, but do I look like an animal or a spirit to you? The people living on the foot of this mountain are pretty superstitious, so maybe it's just that. Superstition. You are not so sure? The cloak? No, I mostly keep it on. For warmth. Are you starting to warm up yet? Okay, that's good. Oh, the water is done. I'll just add some tea leaves and... There we go. Here, drink up. Is it good? I'm glad. Oh, don't worry. You can stay as long as needed. The storm will not subside anytime soon. And besides, your grandparents won't expect you back until tomorrow, right? So... What? What's wrong? How do I know you were visiting your grandparents? Oh, well, you told me so. You said relatives, not grandparents. Well, I just assumed... Wait, no, please. Don't leave. You won't survive out there. Let me explain. I promise I don't have any ill intentions in mind. Just sit back down and I'll explain. I'm going to get in so much trouble for this. I'm going to remove my hood and my cloak now. Please don't freak out on me. Yeah, that was pretty much the reaction I was expecting. Thank you for at least trying to stay calm. Yes, I have fox ears and a tail. And now do you understand why I prefer to keep the cloak on? You trusted me so far, so I thought it was only fair I trusted you too. The reason you never saw this cabin when you first passed it is because this area is protected from being seen by the magic of this mountain. And unless someone who lives here guides you through the correct path, you will never be able to find your way. You would just be wandering in circles. I know this is a lot to take in, but believe me when I say there is a lot of magic permeating throughout this mountain. Magic that even the people who live in its shadow scarcely know about. You're not as bewildered by all this as I thought you would be. I guess I should not be surprised. You told me you were already familiar with at least some of the folk tales. The stories about how the animals from the mountain save those who get lost. They must come from somewhere, right? It's not the whole truth, however. Then, what am I? I have been called many things. Fox spirit, spirit of the mountain. But your kind mostly refer to me as a Kitsune. Multiple tails? Normally, yes, but I'm relatively young, for our kind at least. In your years, I'm probably closer to your age. But we live a long time and I'm considered but an infant in my years. As you can see, I have only one tail and that is even still not fully grown. Why am I helping you? Well, I'm returning the favor. Confused? Did your grandparents not tell you about the recent encounters with a fox? who just appeared one day? They did, didn't they? And how about you? Do you not recall? Look into my eyes. I'm not in the same form, but you must remember me at least vaguely. Do you not recognize the color of my ears and tail? It was about a year ago. I wandered too close to the village. Again. I've been warned many times, but I've always been fixated by humans and their lives. I thought that if I stayed in my animal form, I would be safe. I was sorely mistaken. I was found by hunters. I don't have much magic yet. I can just barely shapeshift. So I ran. And their dogs chased after me. One even got a hold of my leg. I managed to get away, but the pain in my leg was too much to bear and I collapsed. I'm not even sure how long I was out, but when I woke up, I felt someone gently stroking my fur. I had been bandaged up. There was even some food for me to eat. It seems you're starting to remember. That little white fox you saved and nursed back to health that day? It was me. As soon as I had the strength, I ran off, afraid that if anyone would find out what I really was, they would do God knows what. I was already incredibly lucky I managed to stay in my fox form. A few days later, I watched you leave. You stayed by my side until I was better. And I never got the chance to say thank you. I'll never forget how safe you made me feel. I experienced firsthand how brutal men can be. But not you. You are so kind. I vowed to keep a better safe distance from the village, lest I would be found again. But then, today, after months, I heard your voice. I followed it, and I saw you saying your goodbyes to your relatives, saying you would see them again tomorrow. I wanted so badly to get closer and say something, anything, but I was scared. However, instead of going to your hotel, you wandered up the mountain, so I followed you. Without you knowing it, you decided to come closer to me instead. Just as I have a tendency to wander too close to the village, you have a tendency to wander too far from it. I kept my distance because our kind is only supposed to interact with humans if it's really necessary. We're not supposed to just let ourselves be seen for no reason. But I already had experienced how caring and compassionate you were. So what's the harm, I thought. I've always been told that we have to avoid interacting if possible. We can let ourselves grow too attached. We can't fall in. I followed you for quite a while, trying to work up the courage to talk to you, even though I knew I wasn't supposed to. I was trying to figure out what to say when that snowstorm hit. And then I knew I had to do something, and fast. I'm just glad I got to save you. Again, there really is no reason to thank me. If anything, I should be thanking you. you're curious about my fox form? Haven't you already seen it when you took care of me? Or do you not believe my story? You would think the ears and tail would be enough to convince you. You just want to see it again. Very well. I guess it's only natural for you to be curious. Well, does this satisfy you? You would think that after meeting one such as me, the fact that I can also telepathically communicate would not shock you anymore. That's what you said back then, too. It speaks to your kind heart and love for creatures that you would find this form to be, so adorable, as you put it. You seem tired, and I would be surprised if you weren't. You've been through a lot. You can lay down on the bed over there. No, please. It's no problem at all. What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm going to lay beside you until you return to full strength. It's what you did for me, remember? Touch my fur? Does that calm you? Of course. Just as soft as you remember. Noises? Oh. Sorry. It's just... you petting me feels really nice. Now, try and get some rest, please. I'll still be here when you wake up. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. Not this time. Just keep petting me.